So the main signs that we are looking for are chronic symptoms, severe symptoms which are related to 3 bodily systems. First of all, we are looking at the central and peripheral nervous system. Dizziness, it can be poor body temperature regulation, neuropathy or pain or tingling in the peripheral nerves. We can have brain fog and anxiety, poor circulation. There can be central fatigue or systemic fatigue, which again can stem from a problem with the nervous system, but also if we're looking at thiamine's role in every cell in the body, it's needed to make energy. So we end up with a systemic energy deficit throughout all of the cells. We can have problems with the cardiovascular system as well. One of those being tachycardia, so rapid heart rate or rapid pulse rate. And then someone may also have an unexplained low blood pressure. This is something I see very frequently, or it can be erratic or unsteady blood pressure. Also, unexpectedly, the symptoms can manifest in the gut. So we have to remember that the gut is innervated by the enteric nervous system, and that is partially controlling our digestive secretions, our stomach acid synthesis, the gastric emptying, the different sphincters, so the pyloric, the esophageal sphincters, how well we are able to induce motility, so propel food throughout the intestine. And so it's unsurprising that actually some of the symptoms can be gastroesophageal reflux disorder. We can have chronic bloating, so someone may have delayed gastric emptying. They can feel like there's a rock sat in their stomach. So based on the research done on thiamine in Japan, Dr. Derek Lonsdale also did extensive research on this nutrient himself, and he was working with children, a pediatrician at the Cleveland Clinic, and he found it to have immense benefits for various types of conditions, health conditions relating to the nervous system, including dysautonomias of many different kinds, autism, ADHD, other kinds of behavioral neuropsychiatric disorders, but also things which mimic kind of chronic fatigue syndrome, a very important part of glucose metabolism as a cofactor for an enzyme called pyruvate dehydrogenase. It's also a cofactor in a process called the Krebs cycle, which is the next stage of how we are deriving energy from various food components. Now, thiamine is not only really necessary for the metabolism of glucose for energy, but also for the metabolism of fats and proteins for energy as well. Thiamine is a cofactor for several other enzymes. So not only are we breaking down glucose for energy, we can also use glucose in anabolic reactions to build things up. And this is through something called the pentose phosphate pathway. In this pathway, we are using this to regenerate the antioxidants glutathione. And so it's particularly important for the antioxidant system and protecting against oxidative stress. It's also how we're synthesizing macromolecules such as the fatty acids needed to make myelin sheath. Furthermore, thiamine is central in how we are breaking down certain amino acids coming from particularly red meat sources, but any other protein source which contains leucine, valine, and isoleucine. So how we are breaking these down relies on an enzyme which is a thiamine-dependent enzyme. Likewise, how we are taking certain odd-chain fats and running them through a separate phase of breakdown called alpha oxidation is also a fairly new established function of thiamine.